Good day, my funky friends. Here we go again. Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. We shall continue the way we stopped. How about that? It's sad. It's always good to start at the beginning, right? I can get an overhead shot if I turn into Inspector Gadget and use my mic screen, you know? I can do that. If somebody feels he has to see the hat from like point of view. It begins to tell around midnight. What kind of mode would that actually be? Let's see. Let's see. If it's something at all. Let's see. Let's see. Somehow I'm drawn to this 7, or we might want to call it 2 if we think E flat minor. Then F is our 2, right? Let's see what kind of fancy stuff we find in here. Cody is not really able to specify that, no problem. But how about... Also looks a little bit weird. Are we missing some notes, maybe? I guess so. What am I missing? Ba-da-ba-dee-da-da. Nope. I'm playing too much. It begins to tell around midnight. Nah, come on. Yeah, I do pretty well till after sundown. We will have to listen to really a lot of renditions. I'm like really taking a very loose approach here. I got the notes open. I'm not the best reader. I can improvise some, but we really have to go deep with this. I don't want to butcher this piece. It's I think kind of a little bit of a holy grail of this style. It begins to tell around midnight. Yeah, I do pretty well till after sundown. September, I'm feeling sad. Now, that's not the chord I want to play. I always mess up this chord. Oh, damn, and also I forgot. If anybody's wondering about the super weird username on Twitch, sad, that was a keyboard accident. I don't want to be called like that. Thank you so much. But we're really just warming up and getting started. This is a very loose approach. I don't even really dare to type the title in there because while sometimes I'm somewhat true to harmony and melody, it is very, very loose. Absolutely warming up. But what we will be doing is we will take more time to listen. because sometimes I get so excited, I want to play super fast, and my muscle memory takes over, and then I mess up, and then it gets sloppy, I forget what I actually wanted to do. That's why we really need to listen. That's why I will probably keep the title Listen, Study, Practice, Play for quite some time, because before we can play, we need to listen, then we need to study, then we need to practice, and maybe we might play. At the moment, first of all, hello Danielle, thank you for the subscription. We will try to stumble our way through around midnight. It will be a mixture of actually really trying to work on the notes from. I have the real book open here. I can. Well, actually, I'm not sure if I can or if I'm legally allowed to, but I might just scan this and put it up as a source in OBS, same like Cordy, so you can see the actual note material that I am violating. But also, so it doesn't get just too boring me going through a million iterations of trying to make this something substantial. We will be listening to some of the recordings that we like. There's a couple of recordings that I want to really listen to deeply. Not that I haven't, but yeah, there will be Ella Fitzgerald a lot because I also do want to do some vocal practice. I was watching a video from, I think, Kenny Barron, who told an anecdote of working with another pianist or a musician. Maybe he wasn't a pianist, but he was asking him when they played, why did you stop? He stopped in his solo, and he was like, I forgot the words. And he was kind of trying to emphasize on the point of how if there's lyrics, even if you're not a vocalist, you don't have to be a stellar singer, I'm certainly not, that it is actually good practice, not maybe just for soufflage, which just helps with all the mind-muscle connection and everything, but if you really connect with the lyrics deeply, it will make your playing so much more lyrical. And another quote that I should probably get tattooed on my forehead, he quoted another musician saying like, don't impress me, enchant me. And when I heard that sentence, I was thinking about all these highly talented musicians that we see on social media that are flexing, let's say flexing, okay? For lack of a better word. And they're great musicians, but it is just to capture attention. It's not that it's bad music, often it's not. And sometimes it might need to be flashy, but very often it is supposed to look busy and complicated. And when I think about some of the most beautiful things, musicians that I'll never touch in a million lifetimes, it's not that they don't have the chops. It is not about using everything in your tool bag. You use what you need to get the task done. If I want to play romantic piano, I probably don't need to be playing the fastest crazy trills ever. Maybe I want to play a sparse chord. Maybe just a shell. Maybe I just play a third and have a note in the bass. Long story short, I cannot exactly say if that what I'm doing is teaching. I'm trying to teach myself, and I'm sharing this process. If it's helping anyone, I'm very happy that it does. But I cannot put the teaching hat on on myself because I am a humble student myself. Like, I'm a late learner. I've been doing this all by myself for, I don't know, about a decade or so, with mixed results. So, yeah, teaching how to listen. Listen what for? Phrasing, articulation, spacing, swing. Do I have a preset on the vocals? No, it is just the vocal chain. I can show you 1 second. There's some processing going on, but it's not crazy. Usually when I talk, I will try to, or what I will try to, I'll take out the reverb because otherwise it is not as easily intelligible. If you want to know what's going on for the vocals, for the most part, I can show you the change. So I'm going, this is my Rode NT yada yada. NT1A, it's a good budget microphone. It does the job. I like it, but I wish I had a condenser. This goes into my audio interface. From my audio interface, maybe I can make this bigger. From my audio interface, first it goes just through a meter, so I can see how much signal I have. Then I go into a compressor. And that takes a little bit out, not too much. Like, I try to over-exaggerate it. I try not to have more than 4 dB of compression on that. Equally, the makeup gain is, well, I don't know, in between 3 and 4 dB. Let's say 3. It's pretty gentle, 2.1. After the compressor, I have a de-esser. So the syllables, and also I have a slight lisp sometimes. So yeah, it's good to have a de-esser. Actually, also it's good to have a de-esser after your compressor, because when you do compress stuff, it's the more silent parts of it generally that will get raised in level, and the silent parts is also sibilants, and that means it is probably smart, considering the signal chain, compressor first, then de-esser. One thing that maybe later I'll care to do that. There should actually be a parallel channel for the reverb where I would be sidechaining the input of the vocals to the compressor on the reverb. So the reverb is not getting in the way and mushing and muddening the sound of the actual signal. If you do it that way, then you can actually get away having much greater reverbs that are not creating problems, because while the signal is coming in, the compressor is kind of keeping the reverb in check. But at the end of a phrase, when there's no more signal, the compressor lets go and the reverb tail can breathe. And then you hear these typical reverb tails at the end of the phrase. Because, like, let's be honest, reverb is amazing, but the reverb does one thing. Reverb takes away presence. And to kind of level that out, we have to make sure we don't lose too much of the original signal. So what else is going on? It's just, like I said, it should actually be a parallel dedicated channel for it, but we are just using the send effect that we're sending all the other things to. Now I'm on reverb, as you can clearly hear. And one other thing that's going on is I have a little bit of a slapback delay. Like, yo, you hear just ever so faintly. It's like a 16th, ever so slightly. Like when I speak kind of staccato, you hear there's a little bit of a blip after I stop speaking or saying something. And what else is going on? Oh, there's also a small compression on this channel from the SSL emulation. For EQ, nothing too spectacular. I have to make a low cut because this microphone is somewhat sensitive. And my voice does have some bass frequencies in there. So I'm tugging them a little bit so that doesn't explode. Taking out a little bit of this 300 muddiness. Adding a little, oh, you can't see, I forgot. That wasn't so smart. Maybe that's better. Okay, again, I have a little bit of a low cut. Depending on your voice or your signal, you might not need as much, but I usually have it around 100. I think it's a 12 dB slope or something. It's not too crazy. Then we dip a little bit. Mild peak, around, I don't know, 2.63 to get a little bit more presence. And ever so slightly some air at 6K. And that's pretty much it. It's not mixing. We are here to practice. This is not a mixing template. Okie dokie. Let's take a new block and play a little bit through what we got here. So still, scale of the day is E flat minor or G flat major, but I'll say E flat minor, right? It's a minor ballad. And the first bar kind of reads like, I need to omit this like. I hate when people always say, it's like, and literally, anyway, focusing. E flat minor over D. Going to D flat. And we have C diminished 7 going to A flat minor 9. I like to go chromatically down. Maybe at first sight this may not exactly look like an A flat minor 9, but let's take the top note and put it in the bottom. Let's invert it down. Is the note stuck or something? What's wrong with Chordy? Why wouldn't it be able to classify this chord? Something, oh, yeah, I see. One note is stuck. Alrighty. I was like, hold up, that's not right. Okay, let's do this again, I'm sorry. So we got E minor, you put the D in the bass, which would be a major 7th. And you might ask, hey, where are you taking that from? If we look at G flat Ionian or G flat major, we don't exactly have this 7 in there, right? But we get the 7 if we wanted to. Like, we can play anything we want anyway, but thinking about more structurally, what kind of scales could we involve in this piece? Let's look at E flat minor and let's look at all the minor modes. And then it will be very clear where these notes come from. Because let's play E flat minor. We get our 1, E flat, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's play them all together so we have chords spell it out. E flat Aeolian, so the natural minor. Let's play a different kind of minor scale. Let's play the harmonic and the melodic minor. Let's do that again. So what is the difference even with the melodic minor? Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our 6th degree is raised by half a step from C flat to C. All right? That's also how we could get to this note. But watch this. We have also another minor mode, which is my favorite minor mode actually. Hold up, I did mess something up, I think. We have the harmonic minor, which I think is, I think I talked about how much I'm in love with the harmonic minor. It has this special funky minor third in there, which usually does not happen in equal temperament all that often in a scale, or never. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm not a music theory guru. Like I just try to make some music that works somehow. And this is also how we would get the major 7. We get this from the harmonic minor. This thing is annoying me. Sorry, you couldn't see. There was something flying around. Like if we were playing it like so, let's just play a scale exercise up and down. And I love it, especially also these kind of runs work actually pretty well over chords sometimes when you have a pedal on. And also a mixture of having a pedal on and not having it on. It creates these lush clusters. Okay, kind of don't know where we went exactly. We pretty much left a little bit some of these changes, but I think you know what I mean. And also love, because it's just, that's also why I put the piano today here and we're not working on the tiny keys. We really want all of this instrument. Hi, duct tape. No, you go ahead and do however you deem fit. I have no issue with that. Send me a link to your channel. I'll follow you. Because you know, I'm really lazy about video editing. I was joking the other day, I deleted DaVinci Resolve, and then I reinstalled it, but I haven't used it since. I deleted my vertical layout in OBS because I don't know, I'm a little bit old school, maybe also old. And I was thinking like, I don't like shorts. I don't want to do shorts, but on the other hand, I actually really want to get somewhere with this music. So I should probably utilize all the free tools, right? No, thank you. You're helping me. No, don't worry. It's all good. Oh my. You don't worry about that. You can use all the stuff you like. Also, if anybody's interested in stuff, if you're a Reason user, I have put the link to my Google Drive back into the description. If we're interested in, I don't know, templates, patches, MIDI, stems, yada yada, that's the easiest way for me to share it. Because very often, like probably today, I will be tracking, I don't know, 5,000 bars, I guess. And I really hate going through that and choosing and rendering, because then I sit there and ponder and get real philosophical. Is this good enough to actually really render and put on Bandcamp? Can somebody really use it? You know, if you like something, let me know and then I can provide it if I have it. But I'll try to render more stuff. Long story short, there's Bandcamp where you can get probably better quality stuff than as if you are taking the music off stream. I have no issue with that, but if it's for you about having a better quality audio on Bandcamp, everything should be 48 kilohertz, 24-bit undithered. And if you do, what do you say? You just mix music, or you mix music and video, right? So 48 is probably a way to go. I have no idea what YouTube converts this audio to with all the codec and whatnot. Like I can somehow produce a little bit, but I'm not the audio engineering tech guru, you know? I know enough to do my thing, and that's it. Long story short, let's get back. So this kind of chromatic walk down. E flat minor over D, E flat minor over D flat. We just play right left hand, going to C7, diminished, or C diminished 7, I should say. That's a better way to say it. And then we go to A flat minor 9, and I want to go down that way, like I say. It does not look like it would be an A flat minor 9. Let's do the inversion again. Put the top note in our bass. And what is missing? The 9, right? And we can get it right there. It is so insanely well written. I can't stress this enough. Like, seriously. Watch just the voice leading of the bass. And I could stop here, and I actually like that. And then I jump. I'm holding it now on the pedal. From here, I just hold, and I bang the octave. You know, but a little bit more tasteful maybe. Something. But I think it's time we actually start listening to some great renditions. I listened to Ella earlier, of course, beloved Ella. It's probably one of the fastest way to quit trying to sing. Same as people have said with Art Tatum. He seems to have made some pianists quit because they thought, man, this man, why am I bothering playing this piano? It's not like, yeah. But it's not a competition, We're not running 100 meters. There's no objectively, I'm better. It's just like, do you like it? Do you feel it? Does it make you happy? It begins to tell. What's also, I think, very interesting. Let's stop this recording. It's going to be 10,000 bars. And I lost my train of thought. I haven't had enough coffee. I thought I had a point that I wanted to get to. It might come back if it's really important, I think. And the arpeggios, good practice, and we can do so much with it. Also, probably who we should be listening to too. I almost forgot one amazing pianist that I think is also super inspiring in general. Michel I hope I don't butcher the name too much. Michel Petrucciani. He has some of the outrageously beautiful renditions of Round Midnight. He was an amazing jazz pianist who had Hi, Don Joe. Absolutely, I love a good 12-bar blues. Who doesn't? I mean, like, I am happy when we are through this, and probably every now and then when I get frustrated, I will probably just break out and do some of these blues noodles because they just feel good. I could do this for all my life. And that's the get. I want to play fast and not beautiful. There's a big distinction. There's a lot of people that can play fast and much better. Playing fast is not the goal. Playing nice is. Right? Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Yeah, and if we do that on an organ, and my focus is gone. See? For a second we were about to practice for real, and now we do noodly noodly. Why is this so ungodly silent? What did I do to it? I kind of maybe took out a little bit too much from this one. What's happening there? No cue on that. I didn't mess with the gain. Then I guess it's probably this one. What did it used to be like? I think 26 something, right? Okay, let's get back to doing actual work. That was enough fun. Now we need to practice. We've had enough fun. Oops. Just really the first thing. We stay on the first chord. And for some reason, it also always reminds me of one theme I cannot name. It drives me mad. It is the theme of a movie I probably didn't even see. It was a coming of age movie, a super old piece, Summer of something something. I have to look it up. But just these first couple of notes, these octaves, these three notes from the octaves. Do da di do. Yes, that's also, of course, okay, that last one was not so much. But once you heard like a lot of jazz and blues, especially like the more famous pieces, I come to find that a lot is quite similar. Not surprising, right? And around midnight, especially as I am not super true to neither harmony or melody, and I'm trying to improve the fingering of the scales and whatnot, I'm doing mechanics and all that. Every day I've been playing this now for the last 2 or 3 days. Ever so often I play a run consciously or subconsciously. I am always thinking about Nat King Cole's Nature Boy. And of course, Summertime also does creep back in ever so often because that was probably one of the first pieces that I kind of tried to learn. And when you have these blues runs over, because, we should probably also look at the blues scale. I forget that one. So we got E flat minor. No. That was a Dorian mode. This is our natural minor. This is our melodic minor. That's our harmonic minor. And now also we want the diminished sixth scale that Cordy will spell out. Sorry for those that I'm boring because I say that every day when I talk about it. The diminished sixth scale or major bebop scale, it is just a major scale plus one more note. In between our fifth and sixth scale degree, we add one more semitone. So let's play G flat one time. So where would our additional note be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, exactly. Isn't that nice? So our first note, that's kind of not in the scale on paper. We could get it from all kinds of related modes. We get it either from our harmonic minor, from the melodic minor, or from the diminished sixth. And there's one more thing about the diminished sixth, which is anyway probably one of the most versatile and useful scales ever. That is, I love to think about this extra note, because when we look at it, what is the seventh degree of a major scale? Let's look at C, right? It's the leading tone. It has only half a step. That's why we can get so nicely to our resolution. It's easy and nice voice leading. And now let's look at the diminished sixth. What is the diminished sixth doing? it is kind of introducing a leading tone into our minor mode, which just will help us make better voice leading. So, say we play. First, I should show the scale, I think. So, G flat, diminished 6. Or the major bebop, okay? But in distinction to bebop, as far as I've understood it from all the great Barry Harris videos that I encourage you to watch, he stresses and emphasizes how his approach to the diminished 6 in comparison to bebop, where you have these chromatic notes mostly as passing tone and slide notes, but the diminished 6 is really harmonizing. It's an integral part of the harmony. Let's go through the diatonic changes, no fancy stuff. We just go through the diminished 6 in G flat. And that's it. So you wonder, like, why is this a diatonic chord? Because, and how haven't we skipped another note? We did, because we have this extra note that is looking kind of invisible. So we are skipping a note all the time. It looks weird for the hand at first, but yeah, don't worry about it too much. It will come. So we start on a major 6. Then we move to our first diminished. What's next? Another major 6. Ain't that pretty? Just inverted. What's next? Yep, diminished. And what do we have next? Another major 6. Next inversion. Ain't that dandy? And next, we have another diminished. And finally, that is the only one that looks somewhat different, an E minor 7. But what is E minor 7? Actually, in the cosmos of, actually you can call it kind of a philosophy if you wanted to, because Barry Harris goes deep and esoteric with it, if you want to. Maybe not esoteric, metaphysical. Like he calls them brother and sister chords. What kind of chord will we get if we invert this one? Right. A minor 7 is just a major 6 in disguise. So our major 6, diminished 6 scale, our diatonic chords will be, this is our 1, major 6, diminished, major 6, diminished, major 6, diminished, minor 7. Bah, that's it. And this way we can do a whole lot of cool stuff. Like, we can abuse the hell out of the blues scale out of this. Oh, we didn't cover the blues scale. Let's do that. Let's look at the minor blues scale in E flat. So that would be our minor part. And if we want to play that in a major way, we would start on our G flat. So we have all kinds of choices, right? Sorry. Parts were good, parts were not so good. But I believe I should be taking a break, get some water. Something. All right. I shall be back, but I think I'm gonna take 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll cut the stream and just start a new stream, so it isn't taking super long for anyone waiting. Because sometimes I forget that I'm streaming and I'm taking a break, drinking some tea, smoking. I'm coming back like, oh, I did not cut the stream, or I said I'm just gone for like 2 minutes. Don't wanna leave you guys hanging. Maybe a little bit more noodling. We might just as well record. Maybe we catch something good. Who knows? And I really encourage you also to be free with it and have fun. Having fun is really essential. Do not punish yourself thinking like, no, oh, this sounds trash. This is not good. Miles Davis plays it nice. Yes, of course he plays it nice. He did this all his life. So let him, and you just play you. All right, catch you guys later. Happy practice, happy creating. When I get back, we probably start with the listening part that I promised. We'll be listening to some really intimidating and amazing recordings, and then we try to don't look too terrible in comparison, which we will. Anyway, long story short, catch you later. Peace.